right, well, tell me, why is Islam not terrible?
Well, none of the points you raised are actually in the religion, and I know you might find that hard to believe because you've been told otherwise. But if you go through them again, I can break down one by one why each one isn't the case.
All right, child marriage, what's up with that?
So that's not in the Quran, and some Muslims don't believe what you may have heard to be the case, and it's not required to believe that to be a Muslim.
It says in the Quran that, you know, the prophet married, like, what, an 8-year-old or something?
No, it doesn't say that in the Quran.
I mean, let me just look it up. I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay, you can look that up.
Or maybe it was a 6-year-old or something. Let me see.
It's not in the Quran.
What is Sahih al-Bukhari? What is that?
So it's a compilation of basically stories.
Yeah, so it's a story. It's a story sourced by Sahih al-Bukhari that the prophet married a 6-year-old.
Yes, but I'm saying it shouldn't be a determining factor of whether you decide Islam is the truth or not, because not all Muslims believe it to be the case.
Well, then why is it sourced as a story then?
But I'm saying it's irrelevant because if you
Yo, darling, what's your name?
If you don't need to believe that to be a Muslim, then it shouldn't affect whether you are a Muslim.
Yeah, but why Jesus Christ didn't marry a 6-year-old? Why did the prophet?
The mother of Jesus was 12 and Joseph was 19.
I thought I said Pred Matthew. I was about to go mad.
The Virgin Mary was 12.
Read Matthew.
Yeah.
August 4th.
But do you understand that she was a virgin?
Yeah, but they were still married. It was normal practice at the time.
Rest in
She
peace.
was married to a 90-year-old.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Virgin Mary was she 12? I mean, I don't even know, to be honest.
Into the Catholic asylum.
I mean, I'm not a Christian either, so dude, I have no idea. But to me, if they marrying 6-year-olds, bro, that's a red flag.
I understand that. What else? Is that the only thing? If that wasn't the case?
Yeah, well, there's another one that's about the oppression of women and how you're allowed to beat your woman if she doesn't listen to you.
That's also not true. I mean,
all right,
there's a lot more context that goes into it.
Like what?
Well, by beat, the word beat isn't correct. You can't harm a woman. It's not allowed.
Let's see here. The verse is generally understood as a last resort in response to serious misconduct or disloyalty by the wife.
Yeah, but when that word is used again, the Arabic word that's used there, it's used for terms of like lightly tapping something, basically.
Oh, yeah, so lightly tapping your wife when she's being non-compliant.
Well, there's a bit more to it than that. But if you look at Islam as a whole, Islam was in its early days, it was rejected because it introduced a lot of women's rights.
Well, you know, have you ever heard the saying that actions speak louder than words?
Yes, but you got to understand, it has terms for everything.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense to me because actions-wise, Muslims are currently still doing things like beating their wives and doing other questionable things in the Middle East. It still happens.
Yeah, but you can't judge Islams by Muslims. You can't judge Islam by Muslims. You need to judge Muslims by Islam. We're taught to follow the example of the Prophet, and he never hit his wife, ever.
Right, but he married a 6-year-old.
Well, like I said, some Muslims don't believe that. What I believe is.
So why do you believe in other things and you don't? And then some things you believe, some things you don't believe. I don't understand. You're supposed to believe everything in the Quran?
No, because some hadiths corroborate each other and make sense. Yeah, I believe everything in the Quran, without a doubt.
Okay, so you have to believe that he married a 6-year-old.
No, that's not in the Quran.
It's sourced by Bukhari, dude.
I know, but that's not the Quran.
Whatever. Who the fuck is Bukhari?
Well, that's not something I can just answer very quickly. It's it's not something that if you're thinking, should I come to this religion? It's not what you come to first, for sure.
How come you have to be a terrorist to have 72 wives in heaven?
You can't be a terrorist in Islam. You can't even cut down the tree if you invade a country.
Dude, it says in order to get 72 wives, you have to sacrifice yourself to Islam, therefore you have to be a terrorist. And then it also says if you're not Muslim, convert them to Muslim or kill them.
So why do Jews always run to Muslim? You're Jewish, aren't you?
I'm not Jewish, I'm Italian.
But don't you believe in Hinduism?
Oh, fair enough. Well, throughout history, Jews have always fled to Muslim lands to survive when they were exiled, because, you know, they got exiled from like 100
Yeah, because
countries.
everyone hates Jews. Yeah, so they go to the countries that have no laws, like the Muslim countries. They have no laws, so the Jews go there so they can take over.
Yeah, but the Muslims would
getting
always accept
political,
them and
innit?
let them live there peacefully and safely. That's
Try
why
not to
they'd
get
always go
political,
back.
guys.
But you said Hinduism is the best.
Yeah, Hinduism is...
So Islam's not better than Hinduism.
No, Islam is the worst religion. Hinduism is actually good. Dude, everything you're saying has no points. Everything you're saying makes no sense. You're being flaky. You're going wishy-washy, okay? Just admit it. Just admit it, dude.
I can give him 1 more minute to try to prove himself right.
No, I don't have to prove myself right. This is what I said rudely the first time. It's not my job to convince you.
Here's the thing with Muslims as well. You may not be a physical terrorist, but let me tell you, 99% of them are vibe terrorists as well.
A what terrorist?
A vibe terrorist. I have never met a Muslim guy who wasn't a fucking vibe terrorist. They're always weird and annoying. Every time.
Maybe both of those, but
And then you'll probably blow up too at some point.
pretty sleepy.
Let's
just go.
Oh, you're from London. Yeah, that's right. It's a Muslim country now. Sorry. I don't want you to die.
Agree with any of that. Respect all religions, boys, you know, for real. That's
Hey, I
actually what
mean,
believe.
he asked for it.
Alright, why am I not getting no connection around here?